Hello and welcome. Almost anyone who is a user of social media and who is interested in the topic of relationships may know about the concept of love languages, rather, the hypothesis of love languages. There are five major love languages as per this theory, and uh, all of us have some primary love languages and maybe some secondary love languages, and the compatibility between love languages of partners usually predict the quality of their relationships. That is what we know about this hypothesis. So in this episode we'll be looking at whatever is the academic research that has been done related to this concept and what they tell us. So the concept of love languages came up with the 1992 book written by Dr. Gary Chapman. The book and the concept itself is very popular. The book has been translated to more than 50 languages so far. Dr. Gary Chapman was a pastor with the Baptist Church for the majority of his career. He has got his PhD from a theological seminary, and he used to give pastoral counseling to couples, in his work. And he developed his theory of love languages based on his experiences of counseling couples, giving pastoral counseling to couples. And the theory is not, or this number of 5 love languages or what they are, is not based on any empirical research done by scientific methods, but rather from the experiences and observations that Dr. Gary Chapman has made with his the people who went to him for counseling. Now, what is the theory of love languages? It is in fact a very simple theory. It says that we all have one primary love language, and probably sometimes even two primary love language, or a primary and a secondary love language, and that a couple should have at least one of these love languages in common, and also that expressing love in the partner's or your partner's preferred love language leads to greater relationship satisfaction, and that a lot of problems within relationships are because of this incompatibility between love languages of the partners. And what are these 5 languages? One is words of affirmation, the other one is quality time, then the third one is receiving gifts, and then acts of service and physical touch. So you should have at least one of these as your primary love languages, and maybe a secondary love language, and you and your partner should have a compatibility in your preferred love languages, and that makes your relationship work. That is what the theory is. Now, what has been the critiques of this theory? One, as I already said, that the data or the theory is not based on the analysis of some systematically collected data, but rather from personal experiences of one person who has been trained in a particular cultural context and vocational and religious context. So the theory comes from that context, and the framework is somewhat very rigid. It says that all of us have this particular love language, and if there is a mismatch with the love languages of a partner, the relationship may not work. But really, relationships are not that simple. And this theory does not consider many other variables that have already been shown to influence the quality of relationships, such as communication skills of the partners, the kind of conflict resolution mechanisms that they know about or that they use, emotional intelligence, probably one of the best or one of the most important ones. No, none of these are considered in this theory. And also the review of existing relationship research has found almost very less empirical evidence to support the core assumptions of the love language theory. And it is also seen in some research that people actually relate with multiple love languages, maybe at the same time, or maybe with the passage of time when age changes, or with in different relationships people relate with multiple love languages. So in practice, in fact, the theory or the practice is not so rigid as the theory would suggest. And most importantly, probably some research has shown us that compatibility in love languages does not consistently predict marital satisfaction among married couples. So there are probably many other variables that would predict marital satisfaction other than or more than love languages compatibility. And so these are all different kinds of critiques which have been raised based on existing social science research on this concept of love languages. But however, people like the theory. A lot of us actually think that we also have certain love languages which are primary, and that can be because it is simple, it is understandable, and all of us can relate to this. But why why people like this is, as I said, because of the simplicity, and also because all of these are important for us. It is not that if you have say acts of service as your love language, none of the other matters to you. No, it is not. All of these matters to us, and it can change based on different contextual reasons. The amount of loneliness that you have, the particular life stage at which you are, whether you are in a very secure environment or not, based on many other characters, many other contextual factors, your preference for a particular activity or a particular thing that you think of as a love language can actually change. So it is not a rigid thing. And expressions of all love languages or all of these actually correlated to relationship quality. So the problem with the theory is that it is not that all of us have one particular love language, but whatever we call as these love languages are important for all of us. So there is nothing wrong in practicing all of these, but there could be some problems if you think that these are like star signs, or these are like our personality, or or whether or if we think that love language is like whether you are right-handed or left-handed. It is not that rigid. This changes a lot, and there are a lot of other things that actually improve relationship quality with more evidence than the concept of love language. And there has also been some suggestion from researchers that a better way to look at a relationship is through the lens of maybe a diet, not as a single language. So a diet may have different components, and all of which have to be in a particular particular measure for a dish to be turn out good. So probably we could look at relationships in using a model of a diet rather than a single language or something. And there are certain other variables which could predict our relationship quality, such as the ability to communicate, disclosures, the ability to practice what is called as active listening, the spending of quality time, which is also included in this love language theory, and intentional activities that we do for the other person. There's a lot, a set of activities which are called maintenance behaviors, such as appreciations, which is probably the same as words of affirmation, and constructive conflict resolution, acknowledging that there is a conflict between the two people, and taking actions to logically resolve these conflicts, which is very important. Emotional intelligence, as I already said, it is a major predictor of relationship quality, which is not part of this love language theory. Mutual respect is very important, and an understanding of personality, an understanding of our own personality, and also the personality of the person with whom we are in a relationship. It is also very important. So these are all variables that have been shown to predict relationship quality through research. And as of now, the theory of love languages does not have that much of support of empirical evidence like the others. So to summarize, it's not to say that love languages are useless or anything. We can use all of those. We may have a preference for some of these, but do not think that these preferences will stay like that forever. They can change. Our preferences for whatever we call as love languages can also change. So that may be useful, but these are not the ultimate predictors of relationship quality or relationship satisfaction. And thanks for listening. That's all about the scientific research or the evidence base of the theory of love languages. Thank you.